Hey guys, we're back working on the old C60 Ram truck here. Last week we redid the timing and put a new coil in it. It runs a lot better, but it's still sputtering at top end and under load. Still flooding itself out. So today we're going to swap out the Edelbrock that somebody put on it and put the original Rochester back on there. So here's the Edelbrock somebody put on. It's a CFM 750. Truck runs fairly good at idle, revs up, but under load it just chokes. So I was able to find a Rochester we're going to put back on it. I've already taken the bolts out and the linkage, so all I got to do is just clean that gasket up and we can put the new Rochester on. So one thing I did find is on the Edelbrock and on the new Rochester here. It's a used one I picked up from a guy in town. You see, the bolt patterns are different. So I had to go to the parts store and I picked up this Mr. Gasket carburetor adapter kit. Came with the two gaskets and this aluminum adapter which changes the bolt pattern. It was under 20 bucks at O'Reilly and they had it right on the shelf. So it comes with all the hardware you need to put it together. So I'm going to scrape that gasket off and I'll be back in a little bit. I scraped it off with just a regular razor blade and then I used a high flap disc on a grinder just to touch it up. Here's my adapter plate. I've already put the gasket on the back. You use a little bit of black silicone around the seams. And on the back side of this you put a nut that goes on the back underneath that gasket, and that's how the carb bolts down to this. On the higher end units like the Edelbrock, it comes pre-threaded. This one it does not. So, and we just gotta line it up. Sorry, not that great of a video. Alright, and the kit comes with these little Allen head screws. They're size 6. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of high heat thread lock on those and put those in, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I had this all bolted on, torqued down. The kit that bolts into this comes with the nuts and the bolts in 1/2 inch with a washer. I did try this in the house. Make sure you do use the washer. If you don't, it will hit the aluminum down underneath and go through. Sorry, I'll go through the bolts and hit the intake underneath. I don't know if it's enough to affect it, but better not take a chance. Let me grab the gasket and we'll put this all together. As we're back, on this carburetor in this kit, it comes with these rods here. We're going to put them in the front for the spacers. These are also 1/2 inch nuts, at least with this kit. If you guys are doing this, it may be a different size. So I'll just screw those in. I'm going to take a 1/2 inch wrench and just snug them up a little bit. Alright, that should be good. The rod stopped moving. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. Again, your kit may be slightly different. The Edelbrocks are already pre-tapped and it comes with just bolts. I don't think it comes with these rods. But I'll snug these up and I'll be right back with you. There is one advantage to these rods, and I'm going to show you that right now. I've never had a carburetor with those on there. But when it comes to putting this seal on, just like that, it's perfectly lined up with no problems. And it should make putting these on even easier as well. And again, just like that, it's in place with no problems. If we look at the back of the carburetor here, you can see it. And we'll get this one lined up. Alright. ones fight me a little bit, but I'll get these snug down and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, all these are on. Don't forget your washers there. I'm just going to check my linkage, make sure everything moves as it should and doesn't rub on both sides. Everything's still operational. Alright, I have a vacuum line here, which is only one port that I can hook onto on this carburetor, which makes it real nice. And I have the vacuum line off the valve cover, which goes, you can see it's tucked right up underneath the fuel port there. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to get it on this carburetor. The Edelbrock definitely gave me more room to work with, but that's okay. Alright, I'm going to pull this off the valve cover and slip that on there. I got that vacuum line in. I ended up removing the coolant line to get that in. So just make a note of my mistake. It's only a hose that's 10 inches long. Put it on before you put the carb on. It might make your life a little easier. For this adapter, I just went to the local Napa, picked up a piece of brake line 8 inches long by 3/8. Alright, that's the part number 8131246. Again, depending on your carburetor, your setup could completely be different. But on my setup, it screws right in. I went with the longer one, simply for the fact it gets out past this carb. You're just going to clear the oil cap down there. So I can bend it later if need be. So I'm going to hook this up. I'm going to leave the choke as automatic at the moment. So I got a vacuum line that automatically goes back to it. My truck does have a setup for a manual choke. The cable's right here. With this carburetor, I shouldn't need that, but I'm going to leave it as an option. Then I'm going to hook up the the throttle off the pedal. And this is a ramp truck, so I have a high idle, which goes to, it's like a choke cable inside. So I'm going to hook that all up, and then I'll be back with you guys for test start. Guys, carb's all in, linkage is all hooked up on both sides. Again, no choke cable. At the moment, I'm not installing the high idle. For whatever reason, this is not springing back and forth like it's supposed to. So I might have to replace the cable. One thing to note, guys, is if you look at the throttle here, the way it spins, there's a point up here where you can put your throttle linkage. There's also a point down here. On my pedal, the rod pushes to operate. So if I put it up here, it actually won't work. So just keep that in mind. If your rod pushes or pulls, it gives you a different location. Let's fire it up. I did already use this pump here, it's an electric pump. I did that and filled up the float and the bottom of it. And I just dumped a little bit down the throat there, so hopefully it should fire right up without turning over too much. A little bit of hesitation, but I fired right up. Oh, there you guys have it. It's a swap from an Edelbrock 750 to a quaderjet 800. Again, like the video, subscribe, let me know what you guys want to see, and I can make a video of that next. Thanks.